I love to cook, almost as much as I love to insert linguistics facts into everyday conversations. I also love cookbooks, and over the years I've collected quite a few of them. My favorite, and by far my least useful, is the Charleston Receipts. I hope to never make broiled squirrel, but I've got a recipe just in case. But before you can even get to the delightful and at times absurd content within, you've got to get past that title. Charleston Receipts? Shouldn't that be recipes? It would be easy here just to make fun of Southerners for not being able to spell or not speaking correct English, but the title's not wrong. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, receipt has 17 multi-part definitions, and entry 14 reads, "A statement of the ingredients and procedure required for making a dish or an item of food or drink." Now historical. The editors of Charleston Receipts knew what they were doing, as evidenced by a poem they included at the beginning of the book. Throughout this book, as you will see, we never mention recipe. The reason being that we felt, though well aware of how it is spelt, that it is modern and not meet, to use in place of old receipt, to designate time-honored dishes, according to ancestral wishes. This book was designed to collect the history of food and cooking in Charleston and South Carolina, and the use of receipt lends historicity. Alright, then when did recipe replace receipt? Now, that's kind of a tricky question to answer. If we go back to that definition I read from the OED, we know that this is classified as historical, which means it's probably still in use in some places, though by older generations. If we take a look at the Google Ngram viewer for these two words, we can see that receipt has been on the decline since the early 1900s, and conversely, recipe has been on the rise. But this takes into account all definitions of both words. Still, it's not that much of a stretch to say that the 20th century is when these terms came into their modern sense. If you're a fan of the British cooking show Two Fat Ladies, the one host, Jennifer Patterson, uses receipt in place of recipe because it was common during her childhood prior to World War II. Charleston Receipts was first published in the 1950s, so this kind of helps give us a timeline of the receipt-recipe change. Prior to the 1950s, prior to World War II, receipt was probably more common, and afterwards, recipe became the norm. Thanks for letting me share a word with you. And if you ever want to make a cake using only ingredients cited in scripture, I've got a recipe for you.